It's time to announce this week's Southern Tier Tuesdays winner. Congratulations to the Southern Tier chapter of the Nom Knights of America.
The nonprofit is being awarded $2,000 from Upstate Shredding and Adam and Clover Weitzman. With us now is Chapter President David Holoquist and Secretary Chad Hall to tell us all about the nonprofit. Did we nail the names?
You did.
Okay.
Perfect.
Great.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
So first, tell us a little bit about, what you do, what the nonprofit does.
Go ahead, Chad.
So the Nom Knights are a group of people that obviously ride motorcycles. We were put together. We were started by originally Vietnam veterans. Since then, it has expanded to allow military and law enforcement people. We also have Patriot members. Our main goal is to support veterans, officers, fallen veterans and their families, and law enforcement and their families.
Now, as the Southern Tier chapter, how are you guys involved in the community?
So we do a lot of fundraisers, and then once we have the money, we give it back out. So we've given money to sick children, to veterans. We bought flags for the local cemetery and help put them out every year. We've bought robots for the memory unit of the Oxford nursing home. And so we're constantly doing things like that. We give it to the toy banks, constantly doing things to help people that are in need.
And we've had some members. We also did a wheelchair ramp. You said the toy drive. Any place we see a need that fits our criteria. Usually we like to gear toward veterans and law enforcement, but we have done projects for like a child with cancer. So anything where there's a need, we'll try to fulfill that.
I think we just talked about this earlier, but one of the events that was really good was that we gave quick clot kits to the local police department, and they used them the next day to save a life. So very important.
Yeah. And then you have a couple of different fundraisers coming up this summer.
Yes.
Almost one a month, or just about.
Yep. So we have our local poker run that we started last year. We'll be doing that again in July. We don't have the date for that yet. And we also have our annual picnic in August, which is a pretty good-sized party. We usually have that in East Branch, and that date will be coming out. But you can check our Facebook, which will have all the updated information when we call those dates.
And now you guys obviously do a lot of fundraising, but there's always that need for more money. So how do you guys plan to use this grant today?
So we have a number of things that we're working on. So we have a couple of people that have asked us for donations. So we sort of go through a vetting process and sort of figure out where it needs to go. But there's always a need. So it's just a matter of sort of figuring out where it's going to go.
Unfortunately, the needs always outweigh the assets that we can give. So we do our best.
And now, why participate in something? Why be involved in something like this?
Well, a lot of our guys, again, have a similar background. Most are veterans or law enforcement. So as we retire and we move out of the military or retire as police officers, we seek out that camaraderie that we had in those groups. So most of our club is made up of those type of people. So we all are like-minded with like backgrounds. So that's and usually those are the type of jobs where you give to the community. You give to people that need it. So this is just a continuation of what most people have done all their lives.
And now, how did you guys get involved, and how do others get involved?
Well, usually you have to have a sponsor that's already in the club. In my case, I had a former co-worker of mine. We worked together at the local police department, and after I retired, he got me in. Chad had a similar. Chad was well known in the community as well.
Similar experience, and then it is a motorcycle club. So at the end of the day, that's what we do. So it's very similar to other motorcycle clubs. There's a process to get in, and so we typically start with that process, and it takes some time to get in.
And not everybody gets it.
Correct.
Right. And then I was curious about this, charity and motorcycle club, sort of like in one. Like, how did this come to be?
Well, again, it was started by Vietnam veterans who have served many years. And as it's expanded, we've continued to do our charitable work. But our goal is to try to support people that have had issues, that need some help. So that's what we just keep doing that. And there are 78 chapters for our motorcycle club.
Now, aside from the Southern Tier 1, are there any other ones closer, or are we probably the closest one regional-wise?
There's actually one close. It's Liberty chapter. They're out of Otsego
Otsego.
County. Yeah,
Otsego.
they're located in Otsego. It's not necessarily a specific geographic area. Each group has sort of their own. But again, there's 78 chapters plus 2 in Canada. So we go from Canada to Florida. We stay mostly on the East Coast.
And we usually do an annual gathering on Memorial Day in Washington, D.C. So the chapters from all over the United States come together in Washington, D.C. over Memorial Day weekend. And we usually will go down to the Vietnam Wall and honor the fallen veterans, as well as the police memorial and honor our fallen police officers.
Which is, it's quite a sight to have, thousands
Thousands of bikes down there.
Wow, yeah. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having us.
All right, and we will get some more of these organization details to you now in case you missed it. The mission of the Nam Knights of America is to honor the memory of American veterans and police officers who have lost their lives in the line of duty, and to assist veterans and police officers in their time of need. There are 78 chapters throughout the U.S. and Canada. The Southern Tier chapter of the Nam Knights hosts various fundraisers throughout the year, which helps them carry out this mission.